Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back again with another video. I am sweating buckets right now, and it's not because of us potentially signing Noni Madueke, which is looking like it's likely to happen. I do need to break down some news, though, as the title of this video says. The deal for signing Viktor Gyökeres to Arsenal is still advanced. Talks are still being brought forward to Sporting Lisbon over the discrepancy in the fee, whether it be discrepancy in the base fee or the add-ons. But Fabrizio Romano did provide an update um, earlier today, just a few hours ago, saying, "Don't panic, Arsenal fans, a deal is still on." And I hate that it has to be Fabrizio Romano or David Ornstein for this fan base to calm the fuck down. Some people believe everything they read and hear on the internet, knowing that there's such thing as clickbait journalism in the transfer window. And it's so common in the transfer window. Rated R Cope Edge. I think you need to. The deal is off. That's not true. That's not fake news. I think that's Luca's account. Luca, we all know that's one of your many accounts. You need to get a job or something better to do. You believe everything you fucking hear on the internet. You don't think for yourself. And I think pretty much everybody has cooked you. Um, we are obviously getting Gyökeres. It's not an issue, and the deal is not off. And you don't know what you're talking about, so I think you need to sit this one out respectfully. Moving on to the deal of Noni Madueke, discussions underway with Chelsea to begin formally with Chelsea in relation to the signing of Noni Madueke to play as a backup to Bukayo Saka on the right wing. When we agreed personal terms with Noni Madueke, for me, it is an understanding that the player doesn't want to play any other position other than right wing. And I believe that for us to agree personal terms with Noni Madueke, that's a clear understanding that it doesn't affect the left winger position of signing an Eberechi Eze or a Rodrigo. I think Eberechi Eze is a deal that's going to happen with us offering Josh Nichols and or Kivior to Crystal Palace as a player plus cash swap deal, which is something we should offer. Josh Nichols would get more game time at Crystal Palace, and it's a good stepping stone for him to develop his career, as he's such a raw academy prospect, and he barely got to play at Arsenal in the squad anyway. Yes, you can name him in the squad for the Champions League because we have a bigger squad for the Champions League, but it doesn't mean anything when he's not getting game time. It's kind of infringing on his career. And as an academy kid at Crystal Palace, you would get more game time, and I think that's a good leverage for him and a good step for him towards his career. Um, no, it's not Jordan. It's Luca on another account. Luca has like 50 new accounts he created. He even told me. Anyway, just leave it alone, Jordan. I know it's Luca, and I don't have an issue with it. Anyway, moving forward to Eberechi Eze. Yesterday it was reported by Sam CR Reports that Arsenal would begin formal discussions with Crystal Palace after the Viktor Gyökeres deal was wrapped up. I believe that we would have got a here we go today or tomorrow. I think at latest we'll get a here we go later today. Still, there's a chance, but it's looking like talks are still being stalled. But I don't think there is anything to worry in terms of the Viktor Gyökeres deal. I do still think that he will join Arsenal on preseason abroad, as we have friendlies in Singapore and in Hong Kong, a North London derby. Hi Rosie, big up to you. Hope you're well. I was just killing some time while waiting at work and doing some errands in the meantime, so thought I would go live quickly to debunk some of the rumors that Arsenal fans like to believe. Some Arsenal fans like to believe everything they read and hear on the internet, and have been spamming me since 5 a.m. in the morning, telling me that the Gyökeres deal is off, which is fake news. So anyway, if those of you don't know, Rated R Edge is Lucas, one of his many alt accounts, burner accounts, because he has nothing better to do with his time of day. Some and subscribe to his main account using 50 alt accounts. Anyway, to each their own. It is very hot here, so if you see me sweating buckets, you just better leave that alone because I know in the UK it's also very, very hot. Um, and it's burning hot right now. It's scorching hot here. But I'd rather have this kind of weather over winter any day of the week, if you ask me, especially the way we get winter here. In terms of Christian Mascara from Valencia, we still haven't even begun talks with the player. We haven't agreed personal terms with Christian Mascara, and I think we're not going to see movement with Rodrigo or Christian Mascara until the upcoming week. As you guys know, Real Madrid got slapped out of the Club World Cup semifinals to Luis Enrique's PSG team, and mainly what I do have to say is, I do think Rodrigo has clearly expressed his interest to stay in Europe, and Real Madrid did say that he doesn't have a future at Real Madrid. So he has to put in a transfer request. He has to have the balls to put in a transfer request. And I believe Arsenal wouldn't have an issue to get his signature. Now, it was reported by Fabrizio Romano that, and Ben Jacobs, I believe, said that we wouldn't begin any talks with Rodrigo until next week. Of course, Real Madrid now eliminated from the Club World Cup. I don't think we're going to go on to the Rodrigo situation without wrapping up deals for Gyökeres and for Eberechi to begin with. So I do think those two deals should be done ahead of a signing like Rodrigo if we were to even get him. I do have to also add the signing of Rodrigo in terms of squad space wise does affect need to have the sale of Leandro Trossard. And I say Leandro Trossard over Gabriel Martinelli because I do think the selling of Leandro Trossard is more possible to Fenerbahce for 18 million euros or 15 million euros versus selling Martinelli, who we have expressed by Fabrizio Romano and Ben Jacobs, who came out and said that Al Hilal and Al Ali have moved on to other targets on the winger market, and that Gabriel Martinelli is no longer wanted by Saudi Arabian clubs in this transfer window. I know last season people will say we were offered 30 million for Trossard to Saudi Arabia, but last season's price is much different than this season's price, and also he's in the final year of his contract currently as we speak at Arsenal, so it does make sense to want to sell the player on. Hi Donna, hope you're well. Thanks to everyone who's watching on Twitter. I just thought I'd do a quick live stream to share some updates on the Viktor Gyökeres situation. That a deal is still advanced and I being ironed out the fine details. Big up Weers, Anthony. Hope you're well. I did see the news today. So first of all, Tottenham got Mohamed Kudus for 55 million. And then secondly, now we're seeing that Morgan Gibbs White, who snubbed a move to Man City, I believe Nottingham Forest quoted Man City close to 100 million for Morgan Gibbs White. I'm not sure if Tottenham are actually going to sign his signature, if they're actually going to sign him. But it does look like Tottenham are showing interest in Morgan Gibbs White. Yesterday, I did say the likes of Newcastle showing interest in £40 million Jack Grealish, who is now very much so aged. But I do think Newcastle would be a good move for him, and I do think he'll do quite well at Newcastle. We have seen that Callum Wilson is now a free agent, and we saw that Newcastle have signed former Manchester United player Anthony Elanga. With that being said, the signing of Noni Madueke has generated generational outcry and outrage in the fan base yesterday, all over Twitter and social media. I just need to say one thing clear on this. It's not Noni Madueke forcing his signature to sign for Arsenal. It is Arsenal showing interest in the player. And in fact, I'll even go one step further to say last summer window, Team News and Tick said that Arsenal were clearly interested in Noni Madueke because of Mikel Arteta's being fond of the player, and that we've even tried to sign him and inquire about him at Chelsea the last summer window. Chelsea refused to sell him at that time because he was still raw and growing into that Chelsea team with 50 wingers ahead of him. Now, sending abuse to the player just because you don't want to sign him, you're showing your anger at the wrong people. It's Noni Madueke suffering in this situation. And I'm not saying I like the player. I'm not saying I want Arsenal to sign him. But expressing your frustration by abusing the player on social media is unacceptable, and it's very classless of Arsenal fans to do. Certain Arsenal fans sending him abusive messages, sending him death threats. It is very, very disruptive, very classless, and disrespectful to do. We've been hearing and seeing a lot of these hate messages to Noni Madueke. It is you're projecting your energy at the wrong person here. It is Arsenal that are looking after him. It is Arsenal that want to sign him. It is Mikel Arteta that wants to sign him. Not just this window, that wanted to sign him in the last summer window as well. So you are projecting your anger and frustration and energy at the wrong person. And sending abusive messages to Noni Madueke is not acceptable and is not the answer to this. I just need to get that off my chest. And if you didn't already know that, then you clearly have socio communication issues and not being able to understand what actual respect is as a fan base. And I'm not saying it's everyone in the fan base that's doing this. Sure, we don't like the signing of Noni Madueke, or you're not fond of it. So be it. You can express your sentiments without abusing the player and without, going on his social media to attack and to write hate comments and send him death threats and all this rubbish. It's ridiculous and very childish. Hayashiki, he says Madueke comes and Ethan Waneri goes. That is not true. Ethan Waneri is already close to signing pen to paper, as reported by Sam Sierra Reports. So there is clearly no issue right now with Ethan Waneri renewing his contract. I don't think that's an issue. And I also need to say the signing of Noni Madueke to play right wing backup to Saka does not affect or impact the signing of Rodrigo, the potential signing of Rodrigo, or the signing of Fabrizio to Arsenal. Um, and Fabrizio Romano has made that clear several times. Um, so I don't think that's the case at all. Hi Tyrell, hope you're well. I did catch your stream yesterday evening. It was nice to see Rory and Jordan on there and to hear your thoughts, all of you three, your thoughts on Arsenal's current stance with the signing of Noni Madueke. Noni Dino, however you want to call him, it's looking very likely that we are going to be signing Noni Madueke as the backup to Bukayo Saka. Fair enough. We have been crying out for a backup for Bukayo Saka for 3 seasons now. Reiss Nelson didn't really cut it as a viable backup to Bukayo Saka. And, I do think that Reiss Nelson did like the loan move to Fulham. And Reiss Nelson is now in his final year of his contract, so he can't be loaned out by Arsenal again. Um, we need to make that clear. So I'll reiterate, we cannot loan out Reiss Nelson again by Arsenal. So we either need to sell or terminate his contract. I'll say my prediction is that he goes to Fulham. He did like the loan spell at Fulham, although he was injured for a little bit of the season. I do think. Well, sorry, 1 second. I'm having connection issues. I don't think this will impact anything in terms of the backup to Bukayo Saka and Noni Madueke. Hi, Nathan, and hi, Jose. Hope you're well. I am going to wrap up this stream shortly. Just a quick stream to give some updates on the situation of Viktor Gyökeres and also the situation of Noni Madueke and Eberechi Eze. Not so much the Noni Madueke situation, but the situation of Eberechi Eze. That's one thing I wanted to make clear, that the signing of Noni Madueke does not impact the signing of Eberechi Eze to Arsenal. Hi, Rosie. Hope you're having a good day. I know it's really hot there in Scotland as well. Hopefully, we'll see Rangers starting preseason soon, Rosie. I don't know if you guys can hear me now, but I did have some connection issues. Hi, Daniel. Hope you're well. Good to see you, my friend. Congratulations on the signing of Joe Pedro. I mean, to score a brace against his boyhood club in the Club World Cup semifinals. Good luck to you guys in the final against PSG. Hi, Jose. Hopefully, you guys can hear me better now. Every time I go live from my phone either overheats or I have connection issues or audio issues. I'm not sure what the case is. I'm not even using an outdated iPhone, but I don't know what's going on with my phone. I gotta go get it checked out one of these days. But hope everyone is having a good day so far. I'm gonna do a longer stream later today about the you sound like an matchnick. Is my audio better now, Rosie? I'm not sure what the issue is. I and Moss said the same thing yesterday when I was live from the car. Like, I don't know what's going on, whether it's StreamYard or whether it's my audio, whether it's me. Hopefully, it sounds better now, but every time my phone rings, my audio gets messed up, and people always call me when I'm live. Like, I've been free the whole day, and you choose to call me when I go live. Um, Anyway, thanks everybody. Sorry, there's not a stream goes by in the past 5 years of me doing YouTube where I haven't had audio or technical issues. And thanks to everyone who just rolls with the punches alongside myself. Hi Abu, thanks for joining. Whoa, the pressure is really on now that you're watching. Anyway, I don't really have much else to say. We did announce Christian Norgard today. For those of you who don't know, the contract breakdown information for Christian Norgard is 2 years plus an option to extend his contract for 1 year. He will be wearing Sorry, guys. As I was saying, my phone just overheated and shut off. But I'll be going live from home instead. I'll be stopping these outdoor streams because I don't think my phone can handle it. Big up, Prime. Hope you're well. Good to see you on Carefree's channel for the watch along. Hopefully, hear your guys' takes on the rest of your transfer business. I mean, Gittins is a very good signing. I hope he does well for you guys. I watched him play for Dortmund. He looked promising, and more importantly, Joe Pedro. When you get out of a toxic team, and hopefully at Chelsea, we already saw him bag a brace against his former boyhood club. We'll see what other business Chelsea does. Noni Madueke to Arsenal is one of them, and then I think you have several other outgoings to go with. Earlier in the stream, I did share my thoughts on Madueke. I was not against the player Madueke. It was me more so the attitude concerns I had. I know Maresca has openly dropped him in a couple of games, and I know the stuff that happened against Wolves. Like he tweeted everything about this place is shit, and then bags a hat trick against Wolves. But people change as they get older. Hopefully, he'll have a better mentality at Arsenal. He's coming to be a backup. I'm just not agreeing with the price tag here with that player. But I know that discussions are still being had on the actual fee and the add-ons. I think Chelsea want less add-ons from my understanding. I'm very sorry for the technical issues in this stream. I'll be doing a more in-depth stream later today once I get home with proper connection and no audio video issues. To talk to you guys about any further updates if anything happens in the next few hours on Gyökeres or Noni Madueke. I do think we still haven't even begun formal discussions with Crystal Palace on Eberechi Eze, but I do know that personal terms are not an issue with Eberechi Eze. So thanks everyone who joined. I'll be going live later today for a more in-depth stream. I really apologize for the technical issues. iPhones overheat like crazy in this weather, but I'll be going live later today. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Um, Thanks everyone who joined. I'm not sure if the audio is delayed or the video is delayed, but I am going to wrap up the stream now. Thanks to everyone who joined on YouTube and on Twitter. I'll be live later once I get home for a more proper organized stream. Thanks. Bye.